Your 4-year-old is standing in front of you, chocolate smeared across both cheeks, the cake on the counter missing a giant bite. They look you dead in the eye and say, "I didn't touch it." In that moment, your instinct is probably telling you to make this serious. You want to ensure they understand lying is unacceptable, so you reach for a sharp consequence. The behavioral assumption here feels airtight. If lying leads to an unpleasant punishment, your child will mathematically choose to lie less in the future. The problem is, this exact reaction backfires. When you bring down a harsh consequence on a lie, you actively encourage more deception. Harsh punishments do not deter dishonesty. They quietly train a more careful, smoother liar, leaving you without a working strategy to raise an honest kid. To find a strategy that works, we have to look at what's actually happening in your child's brain. A child's first deliberate lie, usually showing up around age 3 or 4, is an evolutionary green light. It indicates healthy brain development. Psychologists call this theory of mind. It's the realization that a child's hidden thoughts are completely separate from your knowledge. Before this milestone, lying is impossible. Toddlers assume you automatically know everything they know, not grasping your mind as separate. It also helps to realize that a lot of early falsehoods aren't malicious cons. Some are fantasy lies, pure imagination spilling over, or wishful thinking, or simply a desire to avoid the hot flush of shame. But when they do tell a deliberate lie, it proves their cognitive wiring is working perfectly. Knowing this allows you to shift your reaction from moral panic to a strategic response. Researchers have spent decades testing exactly how environmental threats affect a child's honesty. In one major study, she observed over 300 children. The setup was incredibly simple. An adult told a child not to peek at a toy, stepped out, and then came back to ask if they had broken the rule. Baseline behavior shows 67% peeked and roughly 66% lied. But when researchers compared punitive against non-punitive environments, kids expecting punishment were less likely to tell the truth, developing convincing lying skills much earlier. There is also a secondary factor at play. Children learn that the truth is flexible by observing their parents tell small, convenient everyday fibs to avoid awkwardness. If telling the truth guarantees a scary consequence, the smartest, most self-protective move for a child is to lie harder. Strict fear actively engineers even better deception. Since fear breeds deception, we have to redesign the environment. You need to make honesty the path of least resistance. To do this, you first have to eliminate the most common conversational mistake parents make in the heat of the moment, the trap question. This is when you ask, "Did you do this?" even though the answer is already obvious. The trap question forces a frightened child into a corner. You accidentally hand them an easy opportunity to choose a self-protective lie. Skipping the trap question entirely is your vital first step. You cannot prevent a lie if you actively set up the conditions for it. Instead of asking that question, calmly state the neutral facts of what you see. Drop the sharp edge and simply say, "I see the cup is broken." Next, create a psychological shift. You must explicitly tell your child they are not in trouble for sharing what happened, deliberately separating the accident from the threat of punishment. The moment your child admits the truth, lean in with warmth, praise their courage. Saying, "Thank you for telling me," matters more in that moment than addressing the misbehavior itself. Project this dynamic 12 years into the future. Picture this same child as a teenager who just made a dangerous mistake at a party and has seconds to decide what to do. That teenager's split-second decision to call a parent for help isn't built in adolescence. It is built in the earliest years by consistently proving, mess by mess, that the truth is safe.